Hello, I am Hyper G. He is Lucky Sixes.
I am Lucky Sixes.
Yes, you are. Proxy Table Gaming, PTG, here again for a mammoth recording session of Battle Reports.
Yes, you don't
I think
know,
we've done
but
3 in
yeah,
one
yeah,
day in a long time.
no one will ever know. But
The pain and torment that goes into
yeah,
recording a YouTube channel.
we need you to know we've been going for 2 hours already. Come on.
Oh,
Anyway,
no, I mean,
the energy will not lack though.
cease.
Round
Absolutely.
5, Team
Round
Chump.
5. Oh yes, Team Chump. I mean, everyone in their aspirations wants to play against these guys, not because they're called Team Chump or anything, but just because they're just superb fellas. Every one of them, every one of them, and captained by our very own, well, sort of our very own. He doesn't really belong to anyone.
He
Tommy,
does what he wants.
He does what he wants.
wants.
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Tommy T. I mean, funnily enough, because we were both team captains and we hadn't done captained a team before, we had a practice of how to do pairings before the tournament, just to see how it works. So we knew what we were doing and we didn't look like complete and utter noobs. And when we got to the pairings for the actual live match, we both forgot what we'd done in the practice. So we had no idea whether we were psyching each other out with the matchups that we'd done in our practice or not. And yeah, there was a lot of smack talk. It was real good fun. And so I end up playing against Kid or Quid. I don't know. I still don't know if I'm saying it right.
Still don't know. You're on a live stream with him for 12 hours.
I know, more than 12 hours, like
hours,
19 hours or whatever it was. Yeah. And that was superb. I was so happy to be playing against him because we had shared the Masters live stream together. He pretty much came out of nowhere on the night they'd seen to do that. And, you know, he was brilliant during that whole live stream. So it was great that I got a chance to meet him and even play a battle against him. Superb.
And his list.
So, Dread Elves. Dread Elves. I love playing against Dread Elves. They're such good fun. And what has he got? So he's got a Dread Prince on a General Raptor. Who is the General on a Raptor?
In general. His Raptor.
In general. Destiny's Call, Halberd, Pride of Gardeakos. I don't know what that does. Probably makes him more killing. Mask of the Warcrow, which gives reroll 1s to any units causing fear within 6 inches, I think. And Crown of the Wizard King for a bit of extra spellage. Nice.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I
kind of automatically like lists with Crown of the Wizard King. I just think it's really fun. Yeah,
I love it. I mean, it's just fun rolling a random spell at the start of the battle, right?
Yeah.
You know? Temple Exarch Divination. Love my Temple Exarchs as well. Got Book of Arcane Mastery for an extra spell on there as well. Warlock Outcast with Adept Cosmology and an heirloom. So each one of those characters has got an extra little magic spell.
Yeah,
so I like that. I like that a lot. He's got a unit of 40 Selection Spears with the Executioner's icon, which means he's always getting +1 to wound.
Nice.
Instead of just in the first turn of combat. So they've got real staying power, that unit. Unit of Auxiliaries with the Repeater Crossbows, some Shadow Riders, big unit of 30 Judicators, which I'm very scared of, because they will slice through me like butter. 10 Dread Knights with Lances and Stalker Standard, a Repeater Battery for a bit of bolt throwing goodness, 2 Hunting Chariots for even more bolt thrower goodness, or harpoons technically.
Yeah.
6 Harpies and a Miss Leviathan. Everyone loves seeing a Miss Leviathan. Unfortunately for Kid, I don't have a lot of shooting, so the Miss Leviathan giving his infantry hard target isn't hugely useful. But you know, Kid's got a very good Miss Leviathan model, which we'll see in a minute.
Yeah, which is it.
You know, that's awesome.
Round 5 was Frontline Clash and Capture the Flag, so a relatively simple or straightforward
nice
deployment,
way to
which is
finish nice. Yep, exactly. This was the matchups we got. Good old Tommy. He was looking after the channel, bless him. After we'd done the pairings, he was like, "Shall we put the cards out so you can take a picture for the channel?" I was like, "Tommy, I love you. I love you, Tommy. I just love you." You know,
these were the cards that Ollie and friends drew. I think.
Yeah, exactly. They're just brilliant, aren't they? I mean, look at the DE one. It's just superb. They're all superb. You know. Yeah, brilliant. So What do we got? Myself, Saurians versus DE, obviously. We've got Jordan's Orcs against. Oh, I can't remember.
Beast Heads.
Well, Beast Heads, yes. Oh, that's Tommy. Of course it is. Yeah. Richard's PoE is against Lee Zerka, who is a good supporter of the channel, as well with Highborns, and Black Rat against Shane. Yeah, brilliant, awesome. I can't remember which one's Rick. I can't remember.
Rick the Rat.
Yeah, it is Rick the Rat. Yes.
Come on,
that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely, brilliant, cool. So yeah, I got some pictures of Kids Army.
It's very cool.
It's basically Dread Elf Halfling army, which is nice because you think Halflings and you think Empire, but no, Halflings are Dread Elves.
Mr. Leviathan as well.
That is the Mr. Leviathan. He even turned the light on for me because he said that this battle was worthy of the light being turned on.
There we go.
Love that. Love that. There's the old Judicators and Bolt Thrower. Yeah, Dread Knights.
Yeah. Very cool.
Really cool. Really cool. It's a beautiful army. And they even had Team Chump t-shirts as well, which were very good.
They did it proper.
They did. They did. Tommy was much better at captaining than me. So, this was, unfortunately for both of our teams, a bottom table clash to determine who was going to finish bottom. I did look at the numbers, and had we lost 50-30, we might have still ended up on slightly more points than them. But don't tell them that.
But
I think
not
it
morally.
Was all good. It was all good. It was all about the moral victory in the final round. So, you know, we'll see how we got on. So, my deployment, I got a unit of Skink Hunters with a Chieftain. Got Mystics in front of the Stygosaurs. Then I got my Tegu Guard. Then the Skinks behind. Skink Hunters and Gorillas in front of the Tegu Warriors. So, pretty compact, keeping things close together. And, you know, ready to launch out if needs be.
Yeah. It's the first time you've put the Mystics in the front line.
It is. It is. I think I did that because I might have taken Silver Spike on them again this time. So I needed a bit more range for it. Yeah. And also, I was beginning to come around to the idea of using the Veil token to give them throwing weapons. And make them a shooty unit as well as a combat unit. Because they aren't terrible in combat. They've got distracting, they've got hard target, they've got 2 attacks each at strength 4, offensive skill, defensive 4. So they're all right, you know. They've only got a 5 up armor save, I think, but still, they're a bit of a jack of all trades. So I was coming around to the idea of using them a little bit more aggressively.
On round 5.
Round 5, exactly. Yeah. Why not, right? Cool. Over on Kid's side, we've kind of already seen it with the close up of the pictures, but he's got his Dark Riders, Shadow Riders, then the Dread Knights, then a Chariot, and the Bolt Thrower, Judicators, Miss Leviathan, Spearmen, Auxiliaries, Hunting Chariot, and then I think all the way on the other side. That might be it. Can't remember, but yeah. It looks like I might have gone first, unless I was going
to say the opposite. Yeah, he went first.
Well, I've moved my Skink Gorillas a little bit. Did they have Vanguard?
Yeah, it's Mr. Leviathan's come right up. Unless that's got Vanguard as well that I don't know about.
No, it hasn't. No, he's gone for first turn. You're right. So yeah, the Dread Knights have moved up, just clipping the hill, which is very good play. So they can charge over it if they want to. He's got his Dark Riders just behind at the minute. The Miss Leviathan is very aggressive. You know, it's chasing that guy who's trying to get out of the mist, clearly.
Yeah.
It's crawling away. And overside, his Hunting Chariot just moves behind the hill, the obstacle, and he's just moving up his lines, really. So, yeah, nice. Shooting kills a Tegu Guard. I've got my fiber pages to shoot.
Those repeater batteries are so good on paper. But every time I come up against them, they do like 1, 2, maybe 3 wounds.
Sure.
Each.
Yeah.
And you're like, on paper, they should be doing 6 or 7 wounds. But...
Yeah. It is weird, but yeah. first time I mentioned the Ramphadons, they deployed right on my
Yes.
flank
Yeah.
and vanguarded way forward and then got into this position in my turn 1, which is amazing. I am very much risking them failing frenzy charges, techs, and charging off into something. But because Kid had got his Dark Riders, Shadow Riders over there, well, if you fail a frenzy check, you can choose who you charge.
Yeah.
So I didn't necessarily, if I failed a frenzy check, I could have charged the Riders instead of the Dread Knights.
Sure.
So I was using that as a sort of backup plan in case I failed a frenzy. My Gorillas move forward to chaff his Dread Knights because I'm very concerned about them. Like just generally, they're just awesome. And I move my Tigger Guard kind of forward towards the Mist Leviathan because I would love the Mist Leviathan to charge me,
Yeah.
and then I can just kill it before it can really do much. And the Judicators are too far away to counter charge at the moment. But Tigger Guard versus Judicators probably doesn't go that well for me long term.
Sure.
I think they just kill too many of me. So over here, just addressing my lines a bit and getting the Stygisaurs alongside the Mesquits. He must charge me. He charges me here.
Kills you, and then you flee.
He flees. I flee. He doesn't pursue because he hasn't even moved forward at all. I think he was just wary of the counter charge, basically.
Sure, yeah.
That's a lot better on the charge. I've done a magic spell and got Guiding Light off. I think I might have done a wound to the Mist Leviathan. I'm not really sure.
So it's still his turn. I think this is his movement.
Oh, I know what I did in my magic phase. I got a Fate's Judgment on that awesome repeater bolt thrower and killed it.
Nice.
The repeater bolt thrower's gone. Yeah, which allowed me to get Guiding Light as well. So there was that.
And and I think he's also moved up.
He's now moved up. Spears have come forward. Judicators have come forward. He's chaffing with Leviathan, which is cool. And yeah, I think that's just how
it looks on that side.
Yeah. So his Dread Knights haven't moved too far forward yet. I might have failed that frenzy jet that I was talking about with the Ramphadons.
Yeah.
Because it looks
also
just moved forward.
Looks like
they've moved up.
Yeah.
No, I don't know if I failed the frenzy check or not. I don't think I have failed. I think I've moved them to there, to be honest.
You rally with those skinks as well, next to his knights.
Yes, I do, and I go into that conga formation. I'm looking at where his Shadow Riders are, and they look like they might have fled because they're like the building, the monument, the archway thing. That's his Shadow Riders.
So you failed a frenzy, went against them. He fled, and he fled. Didn't get a redirect.
I didn't complete it, so I ended up moving forward to there. Is what I think has happened. I think I actually redirected into his hunting chariot, which also fled. Yeah, so that's next to the Shadow Riders. Makes sense. Obviously you can't redirect 3 times, so I was never forced to charge the Dread Knights.
Yeah,
which is awesome because I didn't want to charge the Dread Knights. I think they're toaded, but even so, his character was on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
as he looked at it, and he would have just killed 6 Ramphadons on his own. So there's that. I move my Skink Hunters forwards so that they are both getting in the way of the Judicators moving too far forwards. I think I'm still in the front of the Judicators, but I'm facing the Leviathan, so I can pew with some javelins.
Get one off.
Pew and get 1 wound on the Leviathan, which poison. It's always got a chance. And I think this must be his magic coming back at me, because I lose 5 Skink Hunters to something. I don't know what the dice are signifying, but
swarm of insects.
I don't think so. I think this might just be him moving up over there. Over here, he declares a charge with the Dread Knights versus the Gorillas to finish them off a second time, which is fine. And he declares a charge with the Judicators into the flank. It is the flank of my Hunters, actually. I wasn't sure whether it was flank or front. The Leviathan stays where it is, I think.
Seems to have taken 6 wounds, though.
It does, yeah. Maybe a Fate's Judgment on it.
Yeah.
In my turn as well. Don't know why that wasn't showing in the last one, because the shooting was after magic, but
Yes.
Anywho, he's now moved his Leviathan over to chaff the Tegu warriors though as well. This unit in front of the Tegu guard is harpies.
Okay.
So they're now up to chaff. So I couldn't charge into the flank of the Judicators if they overran.
Sure.
Me a flank. He's moved up his spears quite aggressively. He's got character at the BSB in the front of the spears. So they are not just spears with extra +1 to wound. They've got a bit of extra fight to them as well.
Yeah, sure.
So that's quite an intimidating unit moving forward as well. Both of his Shadow Riders and his Hunting Chariot both rally in the backfield. So they're not dead by any means. And he's done 3 wounds with his repeater crossbows to my Stygisaur.
Yeah.
And magic, I think, probably all combined. Yeah, and that Hunting Chariot's just moving forward and shooting, and not shooting all that well, unfortunately.
Sure.
He kills these skinks, as you would, and I think he overruns because now he's got the Leviathan in front of my Tegu warriors. He kills the skink hunters with the Judicators, and then this picture's now going into my following turn because I charged the warriors, my Tegu warriors, into the Leviathan with an overrun into the Dread Knights.
Yeah.
So my skink hunters must have run away from the Judicators to land there. I think. And I charged the Tegu Guard into the Harpies to get rid of that chaff. And move a Chieftain up to chaff the Judicators as well. So it's all going on.
And the spears.
And the spears. I use my other Chieftain. I love having these skink Chieftains just popping up. They're so annoying. I chaff the spears with the Chieftain as well. And I move my units all round the flank of the spears to try and go for his backfield and cause some damage. I have lost the Stygisaur to another wound. Maybe that was magic and then shooting didn't kill the Stygisaur. And so here's how combat looks in the middle. Yeah, and I think that's just further pictures of how
magic
moves around that
kills
side.
the hunting chariot.
I think it wasn't magic actually. I think I pulled the whole throwing weapons.
Here we go.
And I think they did it because the chariot was only res 4, and because throwing weapons are strength as user, and Tegu Mystics are strength 4. With that unit, it's actually 20 shots.
Yeah.
Which is amazing for a unit of 10
so
guys.
Hitting on 5s, wounding on
5s, wounding on 4s. Yeah. So,
nice.
20 shots, decent effort. Decent effort. I rolled pretty well. I'm pretty sure I rolled pretty well to get it, but still. My Tegu Guard annihilate the Harpies, and I decide the best way to avoid the Judicators is to just keep running past them.
Just run,
Just keep running past them.
So there's a nice gap in that middle, isn't there?
There's a nice gap in the middle, and his wizard was in that unit of auxiliaries.
Are they scoring as well?
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it's hold center, isn't it? Oh, it's capture the flag. Sorry,
capture flags.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. I managed to overrun so far. Opening
nice.
up in the middle, which is really cool. I killed the Mist Leviathan. Overrun, hit the side of the Dread Knights, and then closed the door to hit the Dread Knights.
It was a front, wasn't it?
I was in the front, yeah. So even though I clipped them in the side, I closed the door to hit the Dread Knights. Looking at this and the angle of where the Skinks is, I think it probably should have been him closing the door to me, because there wouldn't have been room for me to move past the Skinks. But the same difference ends up because I end up in the front of the Knights, even if he closes the door to me. So I don't think that is a problem. He
charges the Skinks.
He charges, the Skink Chieftains, which absolutely he has to do to free himself up, really, as I just run past him, basically. He moves his auxiliaries and his Shadow Riders right in front of my Tegu Guard. I don't know if what was his idea there, because it meant that I could charge his auxiliaries and then overrun into the Shadow Riders straight away and get both of them in 2 combats. Maybe he was thinking that the Judicators were going to turn around after killing the Skink Chieftain, and I would be chaffed so long that his Judicators could charge the rear of my Tegu Guard. That might have been the play that he was going for. Not entirely sure. But yeah, he brings his wizard out and starts pewing my Ramphrodons with magic, which I didn't expect at all. But does 3 wounds to them. I mean, Ramphrodons are fearless, so. But I had moved them there in case my Tegu warriors got caught on his Dread Knights.
Sure.
And so I needed my Ramphrodons to charge the rear of the Dread Knights.
So
later on, and now I've only got 2 Ramphrodons left, and they would attack first, so that's not great anymore. In the middle, I go for it and charge the auxiliaries who have got a toad on them, but that won't help. Hoping to overrun. This combat is. I have a feeling that it goes on for a couple of turns, or does it? No, it doesn't. My Tegu warriors do really well. I have a feeling that my character does loads of wounds himself. Nice. Because I pop the potion of swiftness to attack before his unit. I think his character might have a great weapon. No, that wouldn't matter with Dread Elves anyway, because of lightning reflexes.
No, yeah, sure.
But either way, my character kills loads of the knights before they strike because of potion of swiftness. I'm agility 7 on the charge with the potion of swiftness, I think, which is enough to go first.
Yeah.
And yeah, just romp through a whole load of Dread Knights. He kills a few back because he's a good unit.
Yeah.
And basically, I overrun and kill his Dread Knights, which is amazing.
That's on his turn as well.
That's on his turn, so I now get a chance to chaff the Judicators, who are facing. What way are they facing? I think they're facing back towards Tegu Guard, or is it?
No, they're facing this way.
No, they're facing this way. Yeah. But now this skink unit at the bottom has rallied, so they're just going to run up and chaff him, which you can see in this picture.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm in my turn. I charge into the auxiliaries. There's no fear of that. And also, Kid's spears kill the chieftain and overrun forwards. So did they even kill the chieftain?
They killed him and turned to face the.
Oh no, they didn't.
Backwards.
Oh, they turned to face backwards. Yes, yeah. The Tegu Guard. And I've learned this one from Nav, right? But even a shitty unit in the flank can cause real problems in the flank. And so my skinks, who've been sat at the back the whole game, charge into the flank of his spears. And his Temple Exarch is not in combat.
I have a question.
Oh, go on.
Is that unit in a forest?
His unit is in a forest.
Oh.
My unit is also in a forest, but we're not really worried about that.
Yeah.
Because I've charged into a flank. And yeah. Just in case, I move the Stygisaur in front of the spears. And this is the result.
Oh my, brutal.
And just to
so
be
brutal.
The horrible man that I am, with a guy that I love to bits because of how much he helped us out at the Masters, I even placed my Tegu Mystics and my Skinks directly in his flee path.
And an impassable.
Which means I don't kill many of the spears with the Skinks. I kill a few.
Oh,
but
goodness
the
gracious,
combat
man.
res is enormous because of 3 ranks of Skinks. He's in a forest. Charge, flank, take his rank bonus away. He runs. He has to run through my Mystics, through my Skinks, through the Impassable. There's
so
about 7 spears left by the end of it.
So many DTs.
He's rallying on half discipline. Doesn't rally. Bye spears. It was brutal.
Oh.
So anyone would think I didn't like the guy.
Yeah, right. That's mean.
It was so mean.
Downright mean.
It was. It really was. Of course, I've chaffed the Judicators, and my warriors just move forwards, knowing they've got a turn to get out of line of sight of the Judicators, while the Judicators deal with the Skinks.
Yep.
I go through what's left in the middle with my Tegu Guard.
But that's his arm going. Shadow. You're mean.
You're pretty much
just a mean man.
Stop
You're
being mean. Stop being mean. Yeah. Absolutely. And he goes into the Skinks to kill them. And that's pretty much what he can do on his turn, really, because they've. Oh yeah, this is all the spells I got on the skinks actually. So
Yeah,
they were
wow,
ready for
yeah.
fight. They were ready for a fight.
Buffed
You
up.
know, so they were actually decent against the spears. Yeah. Yeah, and pretty much it was sort of clearing up the middle, really. He turns his Judicators to face the Tegu Warriors. The Tegu Warriors then do an about shift and go backwards to get out of line of sight. He joins his Wizard into the Judicators. But after killing the middle with my Tegu Guard, I want nothing to do with the untouched unit of Judicators,
Yeah,
obviously.
sure.
And unfortunately for Kid, my magic finishes off the last Hunting Chariot as well, because I'm even more of a dick. And it's just the Judicators left for him. Oh boy.
Boomtown.
I'll tell you what, right. That was an example of when everything goes right for you.
Yeah, sure.
Because everything just went absolutely smoothly right from the off. Even to so much like the skinks getting that flank charge and just eliminating a unit of spears. That skink unit had no right to do that. That spear unit was worth like triple the points. But when you charge in a flank, and Nav's done it to me timeless times with a unit of like mongrels or something, and they win combat because they're in the flank. So, you know, I am learning, believe it or not, from this PTG experience. And yeah, it was a great game. You know, no hard feelings, Kid, but I was a bit brutal there, wasn't I? And yeah, it was a good fun battle. I'll tell you what, he's such a
You made
great
him
guy.
change his shirt.
Well, did I? Did I make him change his shirt? Are we
'Cause you're so
allowed to
mean.
talk about why he's
No,
changed his
we
shirt?
won't.
No, we better
We
not. But Kid knows. Tommy knows. Some people know. Yeah. Brilliant. It was such a pleasure to play against Kid. He's such a good, fun guy as well. Yeah, sorry about the brutal beatdown that it turned into.
Yeah.
Sorry, not sorry kind of thing, you know. But yeah. So elsewhere, Tommy T, I'm sorry to say, for Tommy's sake, that Jordan gave him a punking, 20-0 as well. Richard, unfortunately, went down to Lizerka 19-1. So Richard, I probably destroyed his morale in rounds 3 and 4 because it ended up not being a great tournament for Richard in terms of results, but put a lot of that down to captaincy, you know, rubbish captain. Yeah, there you go. And Shane won against Rick Black Rat 20-0 as well. So we did actually have a cap 50-point victory in that last round.
Nice.
Which was great. So yeah, it was a nice. Whether Team Chump will agree, but it was a nice ending to the tournament for Only Blocks and Horses. So.
We know that they definitely comment. So Team Chump, please comment whether it was a nice experience for you or whether they were just mean.
I need to go under a rock. If we get -4 subscribers at the end of this video,
absolutely,
please don't do that. Please don't do that. We love you guys. Yeah. Oh, it was a good one for the Blocks and Horses. So what did that mean? The team overall finished with 2 wins and 3 losses, which is all right, you know, for a team that's just come together. And we hadn't even, a lot of us hadn't actually met each other before, you know, going into this. I mean, obviously I know Shane for a long from way back, and I've been at many tournaments with Jordan, but Richard was new back to the scene. And so it was very much clubbed together as people who don't play together regularly. And I think, other than me putting Richard under the bus numerous times, over and over again, I think we all had a decent time, you know. So you know, I enjoyed it, and I think we'll possibly think about going together as a team again in the future, which is always good to know. In terms of individual performances, it's worth noting that Shane won all 5 of his battles.
Yeah, he did very well,
which is great. You know, I mean, obviously, you know, helping the team out loads with the points he achieved by doing that. So he finished in the top 5. Was he 3rd or 4th?
Yeah, he was really high. In fact, we had him and Jack as 2 dwarves in the top 5, I think.
Yeah.
As well, so
Shane was 5th, yeah, and Jack was 3rd. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So really good performance from you boys.
Really good, exactly. Yeah. And Jordan and Richard obviously, you know, played their part in the points as well.
Yeah.
With it was all part of the team. And so I really enjoyed it. I think as a captain, there's things I need to learn, like, you know, better pairings, and assessing matchups better. I definitely felt like I could have done a bit more prep. Like when I was looking at team opponent lists, I was very much relying on what I could think about in 5 minutes.
Instinct, yeah.
As opposed to knowing what everyone was playing. And the lists are out well enough in advance that you can work out matchups going into it. But I didn't really do that. So hands up there. You know, we were just enjoying ourselves, really. So
Yeah.
So
sure.
overall, where do we finish in the table? Obviously, I'm not going to give any spoilers as to where you finished. You've still got a match to go. We finished 8th out of 12, which I think is respectable. So,
absolutely,
just below halfway. Yeah. And for me personally, individually, I got 3 wins, 2 losses, which I'm also happy with, and bang on 50 points, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
So I think, well, I am delighted with that. That's really good. You know, I aim to get 50 points. I'm looking now. Did I actually get 50 points? 53! Way! I got 53 points, even better.
Very nice.
So yeah, that was above half. So I was thrilled with that. Yeah. So thank you, team, and everyone. It was really enjoyable. And yeah, we'll end March for Victory for Only Blocks and Horses, and then head over to Lucky Sixes and Team England for the rest of round 5.
Look to finish that before we get on to ETC preps and things.
Oh, indeed,
as well. So thanks very much. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Especially Team Chump. I want at least 2 comments each from Team Chump.
Every day.
Every day for the next year. And I'm sure they'll be offering a rematch because of how mean they were.
If Kid will ever talk to me ever again.
Yeah, this is it.
Yeah. Masters coverage next year is looking unlikely.
But until next time.
Yes.
See you later.